Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Chris the Camping Texan here, and where in the world is the Geo Pro? This weekend, we're in Weches, Texas, at Mission Tejas State Park in campsite number 11. Welcome back, y'all. Enjoying a hot cup of coffee on this cold Sunday morning at Mission Tejas State Park. We sure did enjoy our trip down to Lost Maples State Natural Area. That's one of our favorite parts of the state, and the scenery down there is second to none. But this weekend, we're back in the tall pines. We're in the big thicket area of East Texas. And let me tell you guys, we got here Friday night about 10 o'clock, and there was a cold front moving in. It was 71 degrees, but the wind was just whipping through these big tall trees, and they were swaying back and forth, and it really was a sight to see. The temperature has really gotten a lot colder. Yesterday morning, Saturday, it got like 39, 40 degrees. Didn't get much warmer. And then this morning it was 35. So we didn't even hook the water up to the camper last night because we were afraid that it might freeze over. But let's go check out your campsite. Well, here's campsite 11. This is the pull-through section of Mission Tejas. There's only 4 spaces on this particular loop. So for 11, when you stay here, you need to enter the back side of the loop, and that's going to set your rig up for all your services here on the left. You get 20 and 30 amp electric and water. All the services work perfectly. What advice I can give you is that when you come in from the backside down here and you enter the driveway, make sure that you stay to the high side. Okay, that means you're going to have to get close to these rocks. And the reason for that is the pad site, this asphalt needs to be reworked. It's not level. The closer you get to the left side here, we actually had to go back around and set it back up so it'd be nice and level. Now, one disadvantage of the site is when you center up your rig, you're going to lose a lot of space. Where you would normally have a nice little porch area, you may have to get creative with your setup, like we did here. I actually had to shorten the legs on my prep table and set up a bi-level cooking station. And then for a couple of the chairs, we had to put that in the table up by the fire ring. But I do like this area over here with the grill and the picnic table. It provides you an extra level of seating. So where you lose a little bit of space on the driveway, you gain up here. Another thing that I really liked about 11 is the birds. Every morning you can hear the birds rustling through the trees and the leaves, and just to hear their music every morning, it really is a beautiful thing. The dumpster is located right here where you see the fence pickets. And let me see if I can get down here and show you guys the stairs that lead to the park restroom as well as the Mission. So here's your dumpster. And then if you take these stairs straight up, the Mission will be to your right, and the really nice restroom will be to your left. I would definitely say, without a doubt, even with the asphalt and the pad site being the way that it is, and the effort it took to get everything leveled up, I would still stay in 11 again, because you can't beat the view at night. Last night we had a full moon, and the stars were so bright. So I would still rent this site in a heartbeat. But I think 10 over here to the right, I think that's probably one of the better sites here in the pull-through area. It just seems a lot more flat, easy to get everything leveled out, and it's got a pretty view of the creek as well. Now y'all, I wanted to show you some additional camping options that you have here in Mission Tejas State Park. If you do not want to reserve one of the pull-through sites. Now, this is the restroom that you're looking at, and there's Mission Tejas right there beside it. So if you follow this road around, you'll see the first campsite that we come to is 15. Now 15 is not level front to back. You could get probably a rig no longer than 30 feet in here. Picnic table, grill, fire ring, fire pit, lantern pole. The advantage of Site 15 is how close it is to the mission and the restroom. If you have a larger rig, our next campsite might be just for you. I'm really impressed with this site. Another back end site. And this is going to be 14. So you get your diesel pusher in here. It's nice and deep. I'm just going to go ahead and say this now. All the sites here, the pads need to work. They need to be resurfaced. But this is a nice site right here. You know, a fire pit, and then you have some steps leading up to your picnic table and your grill area. So this is an impressive site. Okay, all these sites have 20 and 30 amp electric service as well as water. Okay, so again, that's site number 14. The next two sites I'm going to show you are really small, so probably 25 feet maximum on 13. It's really small. One disadvantage about these sites is that they are really close to each other. All the sites are located near the dumpster so that you can get rid of your trash conveniently. Also, the Lovett Trail is right next to you. You can hike that trail all the way up toward headquarters and the Rice Log Cabin. The last site is number 12. It has services as well. Electric and water, really small. Guys, this is going to be for your R pods or anything that's really tiny, couples camper. The pad itself is pretty level, so probably out of the group of back-end sites here, this one is the most level. So these are just some options that, and I apologize for the wind. It's really blowing hard today, the cold front moving through. But all of these sites are located close to the mission to make it convenient for you guys. You may be able to see the mission. It's right there. All right, so let's talk about the services that we had this weekend. Satellite TV was great, no issues with that. Cell phone was not good. AT&T, we had 1 bar. Verizon, we had 2 bars. We could make phone calls and send text, but surfing meant we had to drive up to headquarters. So just know that your service is going to be in and out for your cell phones. We didn't notice any type of bugs this weekend, but it was really cold, so there wasn't much of anything. Now, the park offers firewood. You can purchase firewood up at the park store, they have a little shed out there. It's $5, and the donation goes to the Friends of Mission Tejas. If it's after hours, you can see park host Lisa. She's located over by the Rice family log home, and just knock on her door, and there's also a firewood shed there, and she'll be more than glad to help you with that. The park used to sell ice, but they no longer have the ice machine. If you need ice or propane for your RV or groceries, you're going to have to drive into Alto, which is 12 miles from here. So take a left on 21 from the park gate, park entrance, and they have a Brookshire's, Dollar General, Family Dollar. If you're wanting to eat out, let's say you don't want to cook one night, you're going to drive into Crockett, which is about 22 miles to your right on Highway 21. And of course, they have everything that you would want: Whataburger, Burger King, Taco Bell, Mexican food restaurants, HEB, gas stations. They're a sustainable town, so they've got everything that you're going to need up there. Well, y'all, here at Mission Tejas is the trailer dump station. So none of the campsites here are full hookups, which means that everybody's going to have to come through here when they leave. So right here is is fresh water, which is odd. You don't usually see a freshwater spigot near the trailer dump station, but they also have a group campsite across the street for the Boy Scouts. So we saw them using that yesterday. So let's take a look and see what services they have here. All right, so a couple of very nice tall black tank washout spigots, and they have one sewer connection. Okay, so when it comes time to leave, you'll maybe want to get out a little early so you don't get caught up in a line of RVs trying to get out of here. Well, now that we've reviewed your campsite, that leads me into the trail system here at Mission Tejas. They have one of the best trail systems, and you guys are in for a treat because the Carl Lovett Memorial Trail, which leads to Fire Tower Hill and the Rice family home, is right here by your campsite. So once again, you have a trailhead. You've got activities with the mission and everything being real close to you. And I also forgot to mention, guys, that in the center here, behind campsite number 10, is a very large tent camping area. Over the weekend, we had the Boy Scouts here, and this entire area was filled with tents. I tell y'all what, we're standing here on the Navadache Loop, which connects with El Camino Real. And if you love birds, Mission Tejas does not disappoint. This is a bird lover's paradise. In fact, on the loop here, we have a bird blind that was built by Eagle Scout Jason Gentry from Troop 407. He did this project in June of 2018. And this is just one of the really neat features of this park. It's just so peaceful down here on the Navadache Loop. Make sure you bring your fishing gear because you can come down to this creek right off of the trail. So y'all, after you finish hiking the Navadache Loop, which is really gorgeous, by the way, walk over here to the El Camino Real. All right, so this is your entrance. to an actual portion of the El Camino Real. So how cool is this? Natchitoches, Louisiana, 151 miles. Mexico City, Mexico, 1,103 miles. This is too cool, guys. I'm actually standing on a route that was used by some very famous people. Missionaries, Davy Crockett, Stephen F. Austin, early settlers, you name it, guys. So y'all, after checking out the El Camino Real, we hopped on the chimney loop. And as we were walking up here, we were asking ourselves, so why do they call it the chimney loop? So when we got to the top of the hill, we found out the answer. There's an old chimney here. So apparently there was an old house or something up here, or some kind of shelter, but this is all that remains, is just a big old chimney. You can see the remnants of a pipe in the ground. So at some point there was some kind of plumbing or something up here. And then there's a swing set. So I'm not really sure what was going on up here, but if you hike the chimney loop, you will see a chimney. So if you want to come out to Mission Tejas for the day, they have a wonderful day use area with picnic tables, a playground with swing sets, and then they have a really nice group pavilion that you can rent out. It's very large, has a nice size fireplace in the back, and on a day like today, when it's in the 40s, it'd be a nice place to have your group gathering, the nice fire going, and they have several picnic tables in here to accommodate your group. So y'all check out this playground. How cool is this? All right, so this is for your little tykes, or maybe even some of your big tykes. Who knows? But they have a really cool tire swing. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Nice set of swing sets. And then here, a really cool feature about their playground is they have some earth movers that your kids can get on, and they can work the controls back and forth to dig up the dirt. So really neat little playground here. So another really cool feature about the day use area is that you can actually camp across from the playground in the group pavilion. This is campsite A, tent camping only, okay, A and B. And it's right here, right by the fishing pond. So you really have everything you need right here. So if you want to consider pitching your tent, you've got your playground, your group pavilion, and a restroom right there in the corner. And now I'm going to take you guys over to the fishing pond. All right, so the fishing pond is absolutely gorgeous. There's no swimming. They have a nice, solid, flat path. And right here is also the entrance to Trailhead, the Tejas Timber Trail. But you have a nice bridge. And then this pond is just absolutely beautiful. So again, make sure you bring your fishing gear. And if you continue across this path, it'll take you up to the Chimney Loop, which leads back to the El Camino Real. So there really are a lot of different options and activities that you can do at this park. Well, y'all, we hiked our way up to the top of Cemetery Hill, and just like Chimney Loop, there was a chimney. Well, you guessed it, there's a cemetery at the top of Cemetery Hill. One of the things that I really like about this park is their signage. It's the small things that make a big difference, and on their trails you'll never feel like you're lost or looking for your way. They always have signs to help you. And then another really cool feature is the benches that they have. On every trail there's a place to sit down if you get tired. All right guys, so we made it down to the CCC bathtubs. Nobody really knows who built these because the CCC company that was here, they had their own bathing facilities just north of here. Some believe that these were just decorative rock features that were put in place to highlight another feature here, but nobody really knows. There are some similar features that are at Claiborne State Park, so I guess this will always just be a mystery as to who installed these and what they were really for. So when y'all first enter the park here at Mission Tejas, this is the road you're going to come down. They've remodeled. They have a really nice headquarters, very friendly staff here. They even do their own rain collection here. They have a water collection system. Really nice restrooms. They have an interpretive center, nice wide spaces for your RV. Just an amazing headquarters. So y'all, we're on the steep ravine trail here at Mission Tejas, and this is primitive campsite number 5. So let's go back here and check it out. Primitive site number 5 is deep in the woods. You're surrounded by a lot of pine trees. You have a nice bench, a sitting area with a grill and a fire ring, a picnic table, and your lantern hook. And then here's a place where you could pitch your tent. So if you're looking for a little peace and quiet, a lot of alone time, you might consider bringing your tent out here and checking out primitive site number 5. So guys, we continued our hike down the steep ravine trail, and we came across primitive site number 4, which was identical to primitive site number 5. Both are not that far from headquarters. Now we're on what's called the primitive loop, and this is primitive site number 2. So let's go back and check it out. So PS2 is a lot like PS5. It's very private. You've got your wooden picnic table, your lantern hook with a nice sitting area around your fire ring and your grill. I can say that one thing I did not see here that I saw at Village Creek State Park in their primitive area was water. So you guys need to make sure that you hike that in with you. Well, good morning, y'all. It's another cold morning this morning, and before we get back on the El Camino Real and head toward our next adventure, I wanted to leave you guys with 3 activities. Actually, it's more like 5 activities here. There's so many things to see and do here at this park. It's actually hard for me to put a number on them, but we'll go with 5. The first activity that you guys want to check out when you come here, after you get your RV leveled and you get your tent staked down, go up to the Rice family log home and check that out. Joseph and Willie Rice, they built that cabin with their own hands. They milled the logs and brought them in over several miles. The house was a stopping point on the El Camino Real, which is where we're standing right now. The house was acquired by the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department in 1973, and it was moved to its current location in the park. So go check out that dog trot style house. It is something to see. Number 2 on your list should be the Mission. For one, it's right by your campsite if you're staying in 11. The recreation is superb. The CCC did an amazing job, and it's definitely a sight to see. They leave it open, the park does, so you can walk in there anytime. Just go check it out. And after you see the Mission, hike the Carl Lovett Trail, which is also by your campsite, and go see Fire Tower Hill. Okay, fire tower was put in place in the 30s when the CCC was here, and it was used as an overlook because this entire area of East Texas is so heavily wooded. They could spot the smoke for miles, and then they could do the calculations and figure out where to go to put it out. So hike up there, you'll see the original footings, I guess concrete footings where the tower stood. It's definitely worth your time. And then number 4 would have to be going about 7 miles on 21 toward Alto. Go check out the Caddo Mounds that's run by the Texas Historical Commission. Those mounds are a sight to see. It's not very expensive to get in. It's $4 a person. They will even let you use the golf cart because the area is so big that you can ride around there, and they have interpretive signs that you can read. Definitely well worth your time. It's part of the history of this area, part of the El Camino Real. So check that out. And then number 5 would have to be the amazing trail system that they have here. My daughter Megan and I, it took us 3 hours and 30 minutes yesterday, but we hiked the entire trail system here. So start off, I would recommend a starting point would be San Pedro connector over to Navadache Loop, and then come and see the El Camino Real. And then we had a great time hiking Chimney Loop and seeing the old chimney that was up there, and then hiking around to see the CCC bathtubs from the cemetery loop. That was a lot of fun as well. And then we ended our day checking out the primitive campsites, taking the steep trail and going around that front side of the park. So there are a lot of trails here. So just get out, check them out. Like I said, it'd take you 4 hours tops, and you can walk all the trails here that are flat. You can get an idea just by looking at the El Camino Real about what the trails look like. You'll have an occasional stump that you'll have to look out for, but for the most part, these trails are very passable. Some of the trails are steep, so just make sure you got on good hiking shoes, bring plenty of water. But this park offers so much. So get out here to Mission Tejas and check it out. Well, guys, we've had an amazing time exploring the El Camino Real as well as Mission Tejas. Mission Tejas State Park has provided us with a relaxing weekend, but it's time for us to move on. The weekend of January 22nd, we're heading down to Mother Nip State Park in Moody, Texas. Thank you to all my subscribers. I appreciate it. All my viewers, thank you guys. And I will see you at the campsite.